Hello YouTube, Ken Hao here with another Black Desert Online video for you. And in today's video we're going to be going over the new bond skills just released in the Korean server here this past week. And if you don't know what the new bond skills are, they are going to be like additional add-ons that you can choose for your character's awakening skills. And all the classes except for the Shy, I believe, got their awakening, their bond awakening skills this week. I don't think Shy has awakening skills, so they're not getting any. But other than that, everybody got theirs. And also the Hashashin got his Rabam skills this week as well. So that's also going to be included on this video. So if you're Hashashin main and you're curious about that, you can stay tuned for this here. But yeah, the deal with the bond skills, they can only choose one per class. So you're going to be able to enhance one of your awakening skills to give it some kind of stat, and they're mostly protection enhancements or CC enhancements. Actually, I think that's all they are. They either offer you some kind of protection for your skill, or they're going to allow you to use CCs that were previously only in PvE. They will allow you to use that skill to also CC in PvP. So it's an interesting system. They will allow you to make some skills that were previously probably unusable in most situations. You'll be able to now use them in PvP or in PvE. The only two things that we need to know about is that you can only choose one for each class, like I said, and they cost 50 skill points for you to get your bond skills. But other than that, that's pretty much all that I gotta talk about. We're gonna start here on the website page because there are some characters that I don't have in game, and I ran out of my trial character slots, so I cannot make them. So for the ones that I could not cover in game, I will be showing you the page here, and after I cover the remaining ones here on the website, I will edit in the excerpt from the stream on Thursday where I went over with our community here. I went over the skills with the characters that I do have in game so that we could see what, just and chat a little bit, and they gave me their opinions on what they thought the skills could be. Which skills could be more useful and which ones are pretty much useless. Let's go over here, starting with the warrior skills. And the first warrior skill here is your solar flare, and you'll be able to put super armor on your solar flare for your warrior awakening. Not sure how useful this is going to be. It doesn't seem, looking here on the stats, does not seem like a very useful skill. Doesn't have any CCs from what I'm seeing here. Stiffness on good hits. Okay, so yeah, maybe it'll be a good initiation, good engage for PvP, since you do a little bit of a dash there. The next skill that we have here, it is going to be merciless, and now if you choose this one, you're going to have forward guard when you use this skill. Interesting, because it does have some floating and a bound. So yeah, another protected CC there for your awakening warriors to use. And of course, as a fact, is only active when you use the skill when it's off cooldown. And then the next one here is going to be your grave digger. You're going to have a bound. I guess it had a bound already, but now, like I said, you're going to have to be able to use that bound also in PvP. So you're going to have a protected bound, PvP bound here on grave digging. The next one here is for balanced strike, and balanced strike can get a frontal guard here. Also another way to get a protected stiff. And then next one we have here is frenzied strike, and for frenzied strikes you're going to also get a frontal guard during skill usage. I'm not sure what the difference between frontal guard during skill usage, or while using the skill, and just simple frontal guard. I don't know what the difference is, but there you go. It says frontal guard while using frenzied strikes. And then the last one here is for your pulverize, and for pulverize, you're going to get on the last hit, you have the knockdown. Okay, this seems like an interesting addition here. It doesn't say anything on at least on BDO Codex, doesn't say anything about a knockdown, but here you're gonna have a knockdown on the last hit of pulverize. So yet another protected CC here for the warrior. Let me know if this actually is in game, because like I said, it's not on BDO Codex. So that's it for the warrior bond skills here. Now let's go to the giant, or Berserker as you guys call them in the land of non-Korea. And the first skill here for the Berserker is for blasting, and you're gonna get a frontal guard while using the skill when the skill is off cooldown. Let's see, we got knockback here, not very useful in PvP. I don't think it's a very interesting one, because blasting doesn't seem like it does much. And then moving on here, your next one is devastation. You're gonna get a stun on hits when he hits. So I already had a stun for PvE, but now we'll be able to stun people in PvP while getting the super armor active. Interesting. Next one here is going to be for your Titan Blow. And for Titan Blow, you're going to have a frontal guard while using the skill. You said you already had a frontal guard while charging up, but now you're going to have a frontal guard when you release the skill. That's my understanding. Some skills they had charge times, such as Titan Blow. They have the option to also add the forward guard on the attack itself. Next one here is for Flame Buster, and this one here, you're also going to get a forward guard on the release here when the skill is off cooldown. So another safe CC here for the Berserker. And then the next one here is ground lifting, and for ground lifting you're going to get super armor when the skill is off cooldown. What does this do? Stiff. Okay, so stiff and floating. And then the last skill here, option for the giant, is going to be your giant leap. And for giant leap, there's a list of things here. No, it's just they had a bunch of PvE, not only CCs, but now you're getting all the PvE CCs also in PvP. So you're gonna get a float, you're gonna get the stiff, and you're gonna get the bound to work in PvP as well. So yeah, not a bad deal here for the giant. I think the overall gist here of these changes or options are to get more PvP CCs, protected PvP CCs, which I thought is what they were trying to move away from. And then moving on here to the Musa. All right, so for the Musa here, we have the first one here is going to be your spinner, and for spinner you're going to get a frontal guard while using this skill off cooldown. Now you get a floating here, so I guess you can use that float now on Musa if you want in PvP. A little bit of protection here, but I can see his attack speed buff, so maybe people just use this skill for one hit for the attack speed. And then the next one is going to be crosscut, and for crosscut you can get your stiff now also in PvP when it's off cooldown. It has super armor, so it might be interesting. A choice here for PvP. I don't PvP. You guys know me. I'm not a PvPer. Next one is for Crust Crusher here. For Crust Crusher, you get a forward guard when while you're attacking. So another one of those where you get a little bit of a charge there, or a little bit of animation where he spins his pole arm above his head, and that was protected. But before, the attack itself was not protected. But now the attack itself is going to be protected with a forward guard if you do choose, of course. Remember, they can only choose one of these, so choose wisely because you only have one chance. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. And for Fiery Crevice here, you're gonna get a super armor when the skill is off cooldown while using the skill. And this is a bound on good hits, so another PvP CC there for you. That now can be protected with a super armor. And then moving on here to, this is projection, and for projection, it's projection. And for projection, you're going to get super armor while you're using the skill. And then the final skill here for the Musa is going to be your below the belt. Okay, so below the belt, you're going to get a bound here on the good hits now also in PvP. So now you get a super armor bound PvP move there if you want to choose this skill for the Musa. All right, so for the Kunoichi here, you're gonna have your first one here is for your Sa Spree of Sonnen. Is that what this is? Is that what you guys call this? What a fancy name. For this one, you're gonna get a frontal guard when the skill is off cooldown, and this skill has a float. So now you can have a frontal guard on that float there while the skill is off cooldown. And then the next one is your Half Moon Slash. And for Half Moon Slash, you're gonna get that stiff that was actually, this did not have any stiffs at all. Now you can get a stiff when this cools off cooldown. It didn't have any CCs at all, but now you're gonna have a super armor, a protected stiff here on the Kunoichi. And the next one here is for your Lethal Spin Spree. And for this one, you're gonna have a stiff, another stiff. You already had a stiff. This one's a PvE only stiff. Now you can get that same stiff in PvP. So a protected super armor stiff here for the Kunoichi. And then the next one is your Lunar Dash. And for Lunar Dash, you can get a forward guard, which is okay because it has a stiff. So now you can get another protected stiff here, forward guard. Doesn't seem like a great skill, but I'm not a Kunoichi main, so what the heck do I know? And then the next one here is for your Delighted Blast. For your Delighted Blast, you're gonna get super armor when you use this skill. This is interesting because it has a float and a knockdown. And then the last one here for the Kunoichi is gonna be your Wheel of Wrath. And for the Wheel of Wrath, you can get a forward guard when the skill is off cooldown, which is alright because this has a float as well. So, alright, so I have the Witch here, for which the first one is Equilibrium Break. And for Equilibrium Break, you can get a bound. You had a bound already in PvE. Now you can get equilibrium breaks bound in PvP as well. Next one here is for Fisher Wave. Now you can get a forward guard, which is interesting because it has a float. Well, it's PvE only float, but it doesn't have a knockback in PvP. So now you can knock people back with a forward guard. You can be protected. Forward guard, probably wouldn't choose this one. Probably not a good choice for PvP, but what the heck do I know? The next one here is your detonative float, and for that one you're going to get a forward guard while using this skill off cooldown, and you got a float. Another, actually this is an interesting skill to get here. I might, if I play a witch, I might take this one here for PvP, for protected float. Seems like a good idea. And then the last one here for the witch is going to be Thunderstorm, and for Thunderstorm you're going to get a PvP stun here. We had a PvE only stun, but now you can choose it to be a PvP. It could be another interesting choice here because this is super armor, so it's kind of a slow cast unless you can cancel into it. I think the detonative flow is a quicker cast, right? So it might be more useful for PvP. All right, but yeah, it looks like that's all of the skills here that I didn't cover in game, and I couldn't cover in game because I didn't have the character. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop in the stream excerpt so that you can check out the remaining classes. And if I somehow forgot any of them here, I will post screenshots at the end giving you all the information that I missed. All right, so let's start here with the Hashashin Rabam skills. So this is one of them. It looks like, I cannot see, oh there you go, it looks like this. So this is just shift and X, it's 2 slices. He dices, it does 6 times 952 damage, and the explosion, which is the second hit, does 6 times just about 1300, 50% crit chance, 10 seconds of evasion, 9% evasion debuff, and a float. The float's in the first hit. Yeah, the float's in the first hit, and then they got a down attack, air attack, and an air smash. That is that for the first one. So you're going to take your All's Dominion and your, what is this skill here? Your right click skill, which is your skill that he slams on the ground here, which is your Rupture. Okay, so Rupture and All's Dominion for the first one here. And then for the second one is going to be Rupture and your Chosen Blade, and that looks like this. So you put a Hurricane down and then slash it. And that's gonna, the skill stats here is 13 times 804% damage. And then on the explosion is 6 times 1134%, 50% crit chance, and armor or DP increase buff, DP buff, 10 seconds of 20 DP, and then also recovers your mana and super armor. So this skill has super armor and down attack. This skill here is unprotected. So this one here is unprotected. The one that looks cooler is unprotected. Probably people are going to take this one here because it's the same cooldown, pretty much 15 seconds cooldown on this one and 16-second cooldown on this one. But this one's got super armor. It doesn't have a float though. This has a stiff. Is that what this is? No, there's nothing. Just a down attack. So this one has no CC really. All right. So let's see how fast this comes out. So should be this skill here? That's not too bad. It's pretty fast. Let's see what happens if you dash after the cooldown is over here. Should probably go to the Freedom Island thing. Yes. Let's go. So let's see if I do dash. There's no way to combo this? There's gotta be a way to cancel this. I can't believe it. What if we do let's see. Maybe Rabam skills are just annoying. Yeah, I mean it's not too bad, right? With the latency and the desync, it's not gonna be very easy to dodge this. So we got a float there, and now let's learn the other one then. So if you press this, I don't know if I like this. I think I like the other one better. It looks cooler, and this hurricane here, tornado, I mean, this tornado here, I don't know about aiming this thing. Let's see if I go from here. Because it doesn't CC, and it's very slow. So this is, if you want to use this, it's definitely a PvE kind of thing. It gives a DP buff anyways, right? So this is the PvE, if anything, and this is the PvP attack. And then for the other one here, you're going to need sand, what is this? Back in Q. This is your block. I'm curious to see what this is going to be like. Isn't back in Q your block? Oh, this is this thing. This one, okay. So this is your back and teleport. So you're going to need the back and teleport, which is, what is it called in English? Mirage? There you go. So you're gonna need Mirage, and then this is Descent. I know this one because I use this skill a lot. Shift Z. This is gonna look like this. This looks cool. Do I need to count? There needs to be a counter though, because the original one, Mirage, was a counter skill. Can I just use it by itself? Oh, this is good. This is nice. I didn't check the status yet, but it looks pretty badass. 10 out of 10. Cannot use it from... Oh, the cooldown is... What? The cooldown is 30 seconds, so maybe not 10 out of 10. 10 times 1000%, 100% crit chance, forward guard, and super armor. So it's probably forward guard while you're blocking and teleporting, and then when you're doing the smash... It says here, when you're using the skill is forward guard, and when you attack... is super armor. So when you're slamming the ground, you got super armor, and it's gonna knock down in PvE only, and a down attack and an air attack. And then for the one here, you're gonna need Mirage again, and you're gonna need your block. Q is just block, which is Al's protection. This is a counter still, by the looks of it. It's a stun. Yeah, this is one that has to be a counter apparently. Maybe not. Let's learn it. Let's see what happens. So let's see. So this. No. Stun. How do I? It must be a counter. So it says I can use it as a skill slot, but I probably have to block first, yes? Alright, so 20% crit chance, two attacks, and it's a frontal guard, and it's a stun. How's that different from the just Mirage? Mirage was also a stun. What is the difference? This one has super armor and frontal guard. This one does not have super armor. I'm confused. I'm not sure I understand the difference between these two. 5-second cooldown, the other one is 22-second cooldown. I don't understand. This one seems... stronger. So yes, those are the 4 Rabam skills here for the Hashashin. You got this one here, one of your first Shift and X with no protection, but good CC. Show you one more time here. The animation comes off faster in game. It feels like faster in game. 15-second cooldown, and then 10 seconds, 9% evasion debuff, 50% crit chance. This one you got also 50% crit chance and a DP buff, 10 seconds of plus 20 DP, and some mana regen. This one's got super armor and a down attack, but no CC. And then you got this one here, your Shift Z with forward guard when you use the skill, and then super armor when you attack, and then knockdown in PvE only. 100% crit chance, 10 hits of 1000%, and down attack and air attack. So that's it for the Rabam here for the Hashashin, and now let's check out the bond skills. Bon. So the first one here is a bond to this skill here, which is let's see, what is this in English? Yeah, super armor to Inquisition, which I'm not sure is necessary. So super armor for Inquisition, again, not sure you need it because you're not going to use, you only need one attack from this skill here to get the buff, so not very useful. Next one here, you can add forward guard for this skill, and then only on this off cooldown, of course. And then for this skill here, forward guard to this skill. Oh, right here. Yeah, okay. So this one will be forward guard. Okay, this is actually useful because this skill here is got a long animation, is a good skill in my opinion. So you can add forward guard to this skill here, which is called Collapse. I like this skill a lot, at least for PvE. So I will probably take this one here if I were a Hashashin main. Next one here, we have super armor to Sagupegi. So super armor to this skill here. Oh shit! So you can add super armor to this. This is good because it gives you the DP debuff on the target, and you can combo this into your dragon jump, which is gonna come out right here at some point. This one, right? You can do this thing, right? So your combo now can start with the DP debuff, super being protected with super armor. What is this skill called again? Called Doom Slash. And then next we have this one here is bound. I can add a bound to this one here. So you can now add a PvP bound as well. And then moving on, the next one here is an add-on to. So this one here is So this one is for this skill here. Your mana regen skill. So you can get a super armor. Oh, this is nice. Too bad this still has no mana regen, no HP regen. What's the skill called in English? This is called Sin Splitter. So the last one is gonna add a knockdown. Probably this one probably has a PvE knockdown. Yeah, this one has a PvE knockdown, but you can now make it a all-around knockdown. Alright, so these are all the bonds for Hashashin. Alright, so Valkyrie. Going with the Valkyrie bond skills. So this you can add frontal guard to your this skill here. So you can add forward guard to Sacrum Ferret, which looks like it's a good idea because it's a very long animation for you not to have any protection whatsoever. Next one, you can add a knockdown to this skill here, your charge, which is, let's see, this one here. So it had a PvE knockdown. Now you can get a PvE knockdown. What is his name? Hostilidium? What is this? Periodic table now. Alright, so yeah, so you can knock down a PvP knockdown to Hostilidium, and the next one here is gonna be a stun to this skill here, which is your Purificazione. You can add a stun to Purificazione, but of course it's only when it's on its off cooldown. Moving on here, we can now add a float to this skill here. Now we can also have this float in PvP. This skill is called Verdict, Lancia Verdict. We'll just call it Verdict, okay? So now you can also get your float in PvP if you like to PvP. Next one is this thing. You can add a super armor to this skill here. Pretty nice because this skill here has got quite the long animation. And this skill is called Castigatio. Castigatio. So yeah, now you can castigate to your people with a super armor if you're into that kind of stuff. And then for Ensilia, what is it called? Sanctitas and the Ensilar. So yeah, so you had a bound, you had a PvE bound. Now you can get a PvP bound. All right, let's see here. Guardian. So this is Glorious Advance. You can put a forward guard on Glorious. You can be even more glorious of an advance than ever before for your attack speed buff. So you can get a bound for this skill. Before it probably had a PvE bound. Yeah, it had a PvE bound. Now you get a bound in PvP as well. And this skill here is called God Incinerator. And then again, the next one here is a bound for Searing Fang. Also had a PvE bound. You can get a PvP bound. All right, so next one here is going to be a float for this skill here. So we had a PvE float. Now he's got a PvP float. Man, Guardian is getting even more OP. This skill is called the Shift F. Cleansing Flame. Then the next one here is for Scornful Slash. You can be scornful while protected with a forward guard right now. And then the last one for Guardian here is going to be this skill, your charge skill. Your shift and left click, is it? And you're going to be able to put a knockdown, PvP knockdown on this skill. So there you go. That's all for the bond skills for the Guardian. Let's go. Next, moving on here. So Mehua, you can put a frontal guard on this skill here, which is called Tenacious Edge. You can put a forward guard on Tenacious Edge. So next one for Mehua here is a knockdown on this skill here, which skill is this? So we had a PvE knockdown. Now it's got also a PvP knockdown, and this skill is called Frost Pillars. And then for this skill here, you can get a PvP bound. Pedal Drill, I should know this. This is one of the most iconic Mehua skills. So now it's also a usable in PvP. Moving on here, PvP stun on... This skill is called Moonrise. And then you got here, Snowflake. You can put super armor. What's the snowflake skill called? Is it like winter or something? Sticky Snowflake. There you go. Sticky Snowflake now has super armor. And the last one here for the Mehua is this skill here, your charged skill. You get a knockdown. So before you had just super armor and down attack. Oh, they put a knockdown on this. So Petal Bloom, you can put a knockdown there if you so desire. All right, let's see here. So for DK, you can get forward guard on this skill, which nobody is using as far as I know. I never use this skill. Touch of Exploitation. Then next one here, you can put a stiff on this skill. All right, so you can put a stiff here on this skill, which is called Shattering Darkness. Next one here, you can put another stiff on this skill here, which is, where is this skill? You had a PvE stiff, now you have a PvP stiff, which is great because this skill has got a good range. Spirit Hunt, you can put a stiff on Spirit Hunt. Next, you can put a super armor on this skill. Oh, this is nice. It was unprotected before, so good for PvE. Seed of Catastrophe. Now we can put a super armor in there. And then for the next skill here, you can put a super armor on this skill that I don't think anybody is using. And this skill is called what? Spirit Blaze. So you can Spirit Blaze will be a little bit more useful. And then finally the last one here, which you can put a stun in PvP. It was originally only a PvE stun by the looks of it on this skill, which is called Spirit Legacy. Alright, so for the Lun here, you can put super arm, no, forward guard, sorry, on this skill here. Earthly Pain, is that what this is? Earthly Pain. Next one here for the Lun, you can put a forward guard on this move here, which is Deadly Dance. Yeah, so Deadly Dance, you can now put a forward guard here. Next one for the Lun here, we can put super armor on the grab. And next one here is forward guard, frontal guard to this skill. Furor, yes. So you can get a forward guard on Furor. It's not a grab, no? Which one is the grab then? Where's the grab? Oh, this is the grab. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not. Oh, yeah, this is the grab. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the grab. Yeah, sorry. This is pretty much a grab. It's a stun. Yeah, grab it is just what you see. Yeah, this is a different way. Yeah, this is a. Well, I get the name right. Flailing Blade. Yeah, still good. Yeah, it's a stun. Well, protected stun is really good. And then you got here super armor for this. Where's the skill called? Taunting Death. Yeah, so Taunting Death, you can put a super armor. And then the last one here, you can do a knockdown on this skill here. Yeah, so you had a PvE knockdown. Now you can put a PvP knockdown on it. What is it called? Tailspin. All right, so let's see here. So first one is a frontal guard for turn back slash. And the next one is a frontal guard for this skill here. Violation. Yeah, so Violation you can get. Yeah, this is for grinding, I probably would get this. And the next one here is a stiff on this skill here. So you had a stiff, a PvE stiff, but now you're getting a PvP stiff. Karshian's Nightmare. There you go. Next one is super armor for this skill here. Ah, so he is only when we're gathering. So the super armor is only when you're gathering. I see. Okay. And then this adds on the release. Ah, okay. This skill is called what? What is this called? Green Reaper's Judgment? Is that what it's called? Green Reaper's Judgment. There you go. All right, and then the last one here is going to be an add-on for this skill here. Super armor. The blade thing can stun. You mean the blade attack? Like the little spin stuns? Anyways, so yeah, that's the bond skills for the sorcerers. Time for the ninja. So for ninja, first one you have here is forward guard. What is the skill called? Yeah, so forward guard to corrupt sword dance. All right, next one here, forward guard to this skill. This skill is Serpent Ascension. Next one here, you got super armor on this skill. What is this called? This is called Murderer's Intent. And then the next one here is going to be a float on this skill here. Now you can also float other players. And then moving on here, you get a forward guard on this. Effective 50% forever. Oh, really? It's huge. And then the last one here is super armor on this skill. Oh, so it already had super armor on the charge, but now you're getting super armor also on the move, on the attack. And this is drastic measure and forward guard on sudden decapitazione. Alright, so going on the stroker here, you can get forward guard on this skill. What is this shenanigans? This is ultimate crush. You can get forward guard on ultimate crush. Next one you can do forward guard for this other skill here. Alright, so forward guard, what is this skill called? Endless Explosion. Next one is a super armor. This is called Spiral Cannon. Super armor. Then next one here is a knockdown, and this is called Skull Crusher. Next one here, you got a super armor for this skill here, Infernal Destruction. And the last one here, you're gonna add a stun to this skill here, and this is called Rampaging Predator. All right, let's check out the mistake bomb skills here. So the first one is super armor. This is your tidal burst. Now you can burst other people while you cannot be burst through the front anyways. Next one here is a bound for this skill here. You had a bound in PvE, now you got a PvP bound. And this is your Sea Burial. Next one here is a super armor for your Kami kick. You guys play Street Fighter? This is totally Kami. This is, what is this called? Spiral Torpedo. So next one here is in bound. Do we do this? Float on this one. What is this one? This is called Rising Dragon. It had a PvE float. Now it has a PvP float. And then next one here, forward guard on this skill. What is this skill? Rapid Stream. So forward guard on Rapid Stream. This has got some CC there. Okay. And the last one here for the Mystic is forward guard on your chargy skill. Pagong. What is Pagong? Wave Orb. Alright, so for Archer, we got a bound here on this skill. This is your Radiant Explosion. Let's speed up here. Super armor on this skill. This is called Uproot. And then moving on here, you have frontal guard for this shenanigans here. This skill is called Full Bloom. Next one here, Lutheran something. You can get Fort Guard on this. Lutheran's Call. There you go. Moving on here is down a bound on your shift Q. This is a Spear of Sylvia. You can put a PvP bound on AoE. And then finally here for the archer, we have super armor. And this is called, what is this called? Piercing Light. Piercing Light. There you go. All right, that's it for the archer. Nobody cares about archer. What the hell is this skill? Cold Blade. So yeah, so Fort Guard here on Cold Blade. So next one here is a super armor on this skill. This is Waltz of the Wind. I mean, it's a cool animation, but I don't think it's very, it doesn't look very useful. Then this one here, you had a PvE stiff. Now you're getting PvP stiff. This is probably your engage, right? Breezy. Well, now it became a PvP engage probably. Super armor with a stiff. So this here, you can get a PvP knockdown on this skill. Oh, this already protected. So now you can make this this knockdown here a PvP knockdown. So maybe this is a better one. So this is called Elven Rage. Next one here is a knockback, a PvP knockback probably. No, it didn't have a knockback. Oh, yeah, it did have a knockback. Now you have a PvP knockback. Is that useful? And this is Wailing Wind. And then finally here you have a PvP stun, which we already checked. So regeneration, I think, is a pretty big skill for Ranger, isn't it? It's even bigger now because a Fort Guard stun. I hope they gave Tamer some love, because I feel like Tamer needs some love, doesn't it? So Frontal Guard to this skill here. What is this skill? Beast Rampage. It may have become a PvP skill right now. Then you can add a PvP stiff to this skill. Oh, so this is a possible engage for PvP here. What is the skill called? Moonlight Strike. Then Fort Guard here on this. Yeah, this is a Fort Guard to a CC. This is called Garuda. How about this one? This one is a PvP float, all around spinner. So it has a Fort Guard already, but now you can send humans floating. But let's see what we have. What else we have here? We have super armor on this. Oh, this got lightning. Legendary Beast Dance. So you can get Fort Guard on this skill here. This skill is it's a stiff. Is it a PvP stiff? It's a PvP stiff. Okay. What is the skill called? Echo Pierce. Wait, Ninja only has... Oh, no, Ninja. What is this? Wizard only has 4. So we can get a stiff for a PvP stiff for this. Whatever the hell this is. Aqua Jail Explosion. Next one, you can get a Fort Guard to this skill. What the hell is this skill called? Chilling Wave. There you go. Next one, you get Fort Guard. That's definitely the keeper right here. A knockdown with a Fort Guard. Water Sphere is now a protected knockdown. And the last one for the wizard here is a bound, a PvP bound on Bolide? Bolide of Destruction? What the hell is a Bolide? Whatever the hell a Bolide is, now you can throw these on people's heads in PvP and unbound them. But yeah, that's all that we have here for the footage from the stream. I hope it was helpful and informative for you. But as always, if you liked the video and thought it was informative, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button. And if you want to see more video content from me, don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you want to support the channel, you can become a member by hitting the join button and down below somewhere, and I appreciate it. It helps a lot. And also come join our Twitch streams and our Discord server. Links for all those things down below. And stay tuned for the following up videos. I'm going to make one more video here on Odalita content before I believe it comes out in a couple weeks, right? So I have one more chance here, one or more 2 videos for Odalita content. So if there's anything that you want to see about Odalita that I have not covered in my previous 2 videos, make sure to let me know in the comments below, or come to Discord and drop your request in there. But that's going to be it from me for now, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.